All right, got a bit of a follow-up slash update to my last video that I did a couple days ago, going over the boss rushing atlas and what I thought you could do with it this league. Um, I've gotten my specific setup locked in more or less that I've been using now in Sentinel League, and kind of my thoughts after playing with it a bit and messing around with some things. So, first things first, it's really good, especially if you want to increase your boss killing speeds, like how many map bosses you're killing per hour, maps you're completing for Exarch or Eater progress or whatever it may be. And it's especially good if you want to do that and still actually get quite a lot of other loot and honestly pretty decent XP as well, which I was surprised by. But I can pull up the show stats here of my whole atlas. Main things are, I had talked about how Wandering Path you technically shouldn't need it to sustain. That being said, in Sentinel League, when you start to combo your maps with just, I've been doing just enough of the maps clear wise to use both of my red and my blue Sentinel. And then once I've used both of them, I'm basically just going and killing the boss and leaving. And when that's the case, the extra bit of sustain that this is giving me, the Wandering Path Keystone, it's just enough to where I'm just doing that and I'm sustaining and I'm like slowly building a map base, which is ideal. That's what we want. And there's just a lot of really solid small nodes that you can kind of combo with this that just works really well. So, as far as the core stuff, these chance for map monsters to drop an additional connected map, I've stacked it up to exactly 100%. I am still not sure if it does anything past 100%. It's definitely not necessary though, so I think just going to 100 is probably the right way to do it. I've still gone for every single duplicate map drop node, which totals up to 37% chance for any map drops, excluding unique maps, to be duplicated. And then on top of that, like I said, I have the Wandering Path Keystone, and then I'm just kind of, I've picked the stuff that I like and what I want it to go for. Some things that are particularly useful would be master mission nodes, if there's small nodes for them. Like right here, these are now 2% chance for June missions, and then another over here, so I have 12% chance to get June missions. And I've also done it with Einhar and Alva, giving me 12% chance for Einhar missions and 6% chance for Alva missions. Since we're killing a lot of map bosses, getting a lot of those missions is really good. I've got a few points in chance for maps to be one tier higher. These are probably not entirely necessary, although I do still only have 3 void stones. I haven't done Uber Elder to get the 4th one. I'm probably going to do that pretty soon. I think it would be slightly better, but I am doing just fine without the 4th one. But these, you do get a decent amount of just random map drops, partly thanks to we're getting a pretty good quantity boost just in general. 28% item quantity in my maps, even though I'm running all of my maps white or blue. It's still quite a lot of mobs that get killed in a short amount of time. And so yeah, these help those random drops be more useful, which is cool. But they were kind of the last points that I was spending. And then after that, I've gotten a little bit of chance for harvests, since it's just a good thing for me to find. One other one that I've really liked is these 3 shrine nodes, and these 2 adds up to 100% chance to contain an additional shrine, which is really good in particular to combo with the blue Sentinel. This gives you a guaranteed spot more or less that's going to have a big clustering of mobs to pop the blue Sentinel and get a bunch of mobs hit. And then on top of that, I've got some influence mob pack size. That's a good chunk of the stuff we are actually killing. I've got some chance for the map boss to drop additional scarab, which kind of on the fence on. I mean, it's only 8% chance, and it's not guaranteed to be a good scarab. Maybe move those around. But that's all my stuff. Also have the Stream of Consciousness keystone just for, again, a little extra chance at things like Harvest or Smuggler's Cache, more shrines, whatever it may be. Because I'm just burning through the maps really quickly. I don't want to be putting fragments in anyway. Okay, that about covers it. Something that you could think about that I think might be pretty interesting to try is there's these small nodes that give map boss rarity. They're doubled up and they're 50% now. There's 3 here and there's another 3 here. You could get 300% item rarity for items dropped by map bosses. It might turn into a lot of unique stuff. Not sure. I haven't tried it, but it's something to consider. And then just these general quantity nodes in the middle, and especially these ones, quantity plus some rarity, are pretty nice. But yeah, that's my setup. Like I said, my strategy is to just open the map. I'm going to run a couple here. I've been doing Shore and Crimson Temple, which was the strategy I like. I also confirmed that you do indeed not need the anti-favorite strategy for these two. You can get away with just using regular favorites. If you had like a really limited amount of favorite slots, you might need to use the anti-favorite where you would spec into shadow shaping. So like say if I only had 4 favorite slots unlocked, I don't know how you get 4 favorite slots but then have 3 void stones. That would be extremely unlikely, but you could use those 4 to anti-favorite Bramble Valley, Orchard, Arena, and Necropolis, and then that would help you sustain them. But I've favorited them. I'm still missing 3 favorite slots. It's been fine. It's worked out just as I wanted it to. The one main thing is that since I only have 3 void stones, what I discovered was in Crimson Temple it's T15, while Shore is T16. I have a 100% chance for a mob to drop a connected map. And when it drops a connected map, it's extremely likely that it's going to be Shore or Crimson Temple since... So in Shore's case, when I'm running Shore, if it drops a connected map, I have Crimson Temple favorited 4 times, which basically means a times 40 multiplier on drops here. So it's basically 1 out of 42 of Bramble Valley, 1 out of 42 of Orchard, and 40 out of 42 chance that it'll be a Crimson Temple. But when I run Crimson Temple, the connected map can drop off a white mob, which means it can't be Shore, because a white mob in a T15 can't drop a T16, and so it drops Necropolis. And I've gotten a pretty good amount of Necropolis maps because of it. So if I had the last Void Stone, it would solve that. But it's been fine. I've over-sustained anyway. I started yesterday with 2 Crimson Temple maps. And as of right now, I've got about 40 Shore maps and I think another 40, almost 50 Crimson Temples. It's gone up really quickly. But enough delay. Let me throw some maps and I'll show you how it plays. Basically, it's getting pretty quick boss killing and it's getting a pretty silly amount of loot thanks to how much loot you get from Sentinel. I'm entering the map, I'm immediately popping my red Sentinel. I'm going to just kind of run around, kill some mobs for a bit. In Shore, I'm kind of avoiding going down to the next layer because that's usually where the shrines are. And I want to save the shrines for the blue one. And I can get to the boss really quickly whenever I need to anyway. The map dropped over here. That's a Shore map. That's just a random drop. That's not even our connected drop. But those happen. Alright, so now my red Sentinel's gone. I see a shrine. I'm going to run through it. I'm going to pop my blue one. I'm going to hit all these mobs. And now I'm going to kill these. Get a giant pile of loot. Here's our Crimson Temple. We got our lucky connected drop guarantee there. Pick up a bunch of loot. And then I'm just going to the boss. And I'm going to kill the boss. And I'm going to leave. And we might get another map even off the boss. Oh, we got Orchard, which was one of the ones I was just showing that could drop. Very unlikely, but it did. And we got a duplicate of it, which is fine. Those other maps that I wouldn't even want, I can run these later on by just opening the map, popping Influence, and immediately leaving to really speedrun the Exarch or Eater of Worlds stuff. And I'll do one more here, show it one more time. Again, same thing. Red Sentinel immediately. Just clear around for a bit. Getting a lot of currency drops. I've been focusing using currency sentinels since I've been trying to get a lot of exalted orbs and like annulment orbs to do crafting stuff, and they're just really good in general. Alright, red sentinel's done. Now we're gonna hopefully find the shrine to pop our blue one. If not, I'll just pop it where there's a large pack of mobs. We'll just kill the boss first, I think, here. I do want to get good use out of my sentinels since I'm trying to get the loot off them. There's our Crimson Temple drop off of the boss. Shrine's over here. Gonna run past it. Not the biggest hit there, but still should be a decent amount of loot. Fusing stuff. Out of space. Whatever. YouTube can't wait for me to get that other 6 socket. We gotta go. And yeah, that's about how it goes. And the inventory fills up, you dump stuff, you go again.
Stay vigilant.
And that's what I've been doing. I did that all of the last day I was playing. Got a ton of maps, got a ton of loot. I think I got 4 salt drops in like 7 hours of mapping, which is pretty nuts. And I also got like 7 Exarch invites, which I could do faster, but I've been focusing pretty hard on getting good value out of my Sentinels. I think if you're really pushing it, if you weren't using Sentinels at all, you could probably get an Exarch or Eater invite like every 30 to 35 minutes while still, you know, sustaining and building a pool. But the way I've been doing it, I think it's closer to like 45 minutes, which I could then make up for because I've also gotten a ton of random other maps now that I could just put in and, you know, again, run them until the influence spawns and leaves and just completely burn those maps to make up for it. But yeah, the strategy works really well. Sentinel gives a ton of loot, and also apparently what I learned was when you empower mobs with Sentinel, they give bonus XP, which means you actually get pretty freaking good XP. And I'm really happy with how the setups worked overall. And one more thing, if you want to see my Sentinel controller passives, it's kind of just getting as much stuff that affects more loot out of my red and blue Sentinels. I don't know if this is optimal, just what I've gone with. Sentinel reward stuff down here is really good. And yeah. That's all I got for this one. Hopefully you guys liked the update here. Got some more specifics so you can see exactly what I'm using and what's worked. And that's it. Thanks for watching. See you.